Hopefully. I don't know. I ain't going to hold my breath because I just was talking to my daughter and she was having the same problem. Um, the internet around here seems to not be working. And I'm not sure it's working right now yet. Well, looks like it, maybe. Hey, Kevin. So far, yeah, I don't have any delay right now, so yeah, checking in with my daughter. My daughter checked in with me. Um, she said hers is doing the same thing, kicking her on and off. Hey, reason. We'll see how long this lasts. Oh, now it says there's 0 people in here, but there's 2 people here. Okay. Now it says 1. So, technology's so much fun. Oh, oh boy. Well, nobody else is answering back. So, chewing on. No, you can't even chew on the cable. That's right here. So, just no. Shopcat, he's being pretty good. Oh, it looks like it's working, but maybe I. Oh, hi, JJ. Yeah, the cat. He gets a heated building to live in. I got too much and paints and other stuff that can't be chilled. So, okay, JJ. Yeah, my first one I tried, and I talked to my daughter. It ain't just me; her internet's doing it too in town. So, evidently, our local phone company has something wrong. So, well, knock on wood. Hopefully, I don't know. Oh no, well, yeah. Hopefully, it might have said something because now I'm starting to get a little bit of a leg there. So, got the other computer on so I can see when the trying to see what you guys are seeing when it acts up, so I know. Hopefully, everybody's figured out to come over here. So I don't know if the other one's still going up and going or what, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, the 5.3, it's pretty much done. And okay. Oh, that's good. At least they ain't up here telling me your connection's bad. We're trying to reconnect. I wonder if that works. I wonder. Hey, I guess it does. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know where we got cut off at. And all right, Chevelle, glad you found me. So far, so good. And I don't know when you got in there, but my daughter's having the same problem with her internet. So evidently, our local internet provider is having issues tonight. So yeah, lots of troubles. I got enough work to work. Well, with the Tahoe, I've never seen it happen. It blew the spark plug out, and the spark plug where you put your socket on, that's still on the porcelain. the body of those spark plugs are on there, and I'm afraid they're all going to twist off, so I might end up pulling the heads off the Tahoe to get the spark plugs out to put them back on to put it back together. So, yeah, it's a mess. Yeah, I just got this back here, Mike, so you haven't missed much. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, Chevelle. I'll go. I've never seen that happen on a with any spark plug. Even spark plugs that are 70 to 100 years old, and they're AC Delcos. So I don't know what happened there, JJ. I've oh no. 5G improvement, mine. Okay, yeah, I looked up and I seen I was circling. Oh yeah, those are laying in here. Got some bodies for my little metal guys laying here. Yeah, tonight this internet here is not worth a. It's not definitely not worth the money we're paying for it. Either that, or we got a bigger internet issue going on, and we just haven't been told about there's a problem yet. But I noticed when I, like I said, forced the phone to go just to using the cell service and got away from the Wi-Fi, everything. Uh, okay, JJ, that's good. Oh, we're fiber optic here, and it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's plenty, Chevelle. Yeah, yeah. You would be. I thought it was. I thought it was something to be able to sit there and talk skip with the CB. Welcome back, Matt. Hopefully that continues to work, because we've already had the circle of death once, so it just kind of goes with everything else breaking around here. Hey, Matt, on a serious note, got any good vehicles out your way? Seriously. Like a Tahoe, something, because I'm about ready to do some willing and trading to um, get something good, because everything's dropping like flies around here. Yeah, amazing how it works. Chevelle, the early version 305s. Yes, I seen guys do that and then break it up, and I'm like, well, you got basically a standard bore 350. And there was another engine builder with where they were running into having a block shortage. The older 305s, they were taking and actually boring them out, because when they first made the 305, all they did is put smaller cores in there, which made thicker walls on the first 305s. So yes, you could, in theory, take a early 305 and turn it into a standard bore 350. but the casting marks are going to tell you it's a 305. So, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm really looking for something that ain't completely falling apart, or I don't know how I'm going to get the spring shackles replaced on the truck I was driving yesterday. The spring dang near made it all the way through the floor of the bed of the truck. That's a heck of a noise to hear about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning in the dark. Knew it couldn't have been good because it shifted the body bad enough that the passenger side door started making wind noise. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, reason the early 305s could actually be bored. I've got one out in that parts comer I want to pull out, and well, I was almost to the point of doing that, pulling that motor out and having a board to fit a special set of pistons I had. But in the end, it ended up, I did finally find a block that it worked for. So, yeah, I don't know if I want to really own anything past 2008 for a vehicle anymore. The wife's 2010s, that damn Cadillac. Um, yeah, it just. And good thing on the Yukon is we did find where the fuel pump is warranted, but I don't have access to a hoist. The ground's too cold, and I have no way of getting the Yukon up in the air, so I pay labor to somebody else to do something I could do, but it's just one way or another, there's going to be a concrete slab with a small addition or an addition on the here, and there's either going to be a 4-post or a 2-post hoist here, so I can start doing this stuff. Yeah, you'd have a standard bore 383 then. Yeah. I've seen some of the new GM trucks that didn't even get off the parking lot. The one literally made it 5 miles and puked the motor. And then they were having troubles with those transmissions, not even hardly getting off the transport truck. Yeah. And the stupid thing is, this newer stuff really don't get any better gas mileage than the old square bodies and the old Monte Carlos. It's just, yeah. Ford Escape? That actually, wow. Oh, really? That's the scary Stephen King book you were reading, huh? Yeah, this. Yeah, the bottom is where the vortex was. It was actually the head. Uh, the way the heads were designed on that. Otherwise, basically, the bottom ends are the same, and nothing really different. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, sometimes not knowing's better, Mike. So you got this. You're going to be kicking for a while yet. Well, there's a little bit of conflict. Most generally, yeah, they were a roller. But I had come towards that time of switching, there were some that got out with flat tappets in them. About that 95, 96 switch. So I have found them both ways, the early Vortex with rollers or flat tappets. It kind of depends on what GM tried using up before they made the complete switch. Yeah, some of that old, like I said, my old Monte Carlo, when I had the 2 barrel on it, it eat gas. I put the 4 barrel on it. As long as you kept your foot out of the 4 barrel, I could get 22 to 24 miles a gallon with a 76 Monte Carlo with the AC fully loaded. You step on the 4 barrel though, yeah, you didn't go anywhere. I like the Johnson brand lifters. I guess I really haven't messed with the Delphi's yet. Yeah, 15, 16 miles a gallon. TBI should not have. They started doing the prep work on the TBI blocks because you pull them out and you'll see the 3 bosses where they put for the fingered springs. And otherwise, sometimes, yeah. Unless, about the only other way you would got something that was. Oh, that's right. I turned that damn thing back on. Hey, Jim. Hell yeah, we're hanging in there. Kind of. Okay. Oh yeah, 454 definitely drops gas mileage right quick. So, oh, like a police car or something like that. A high duty would have been the only other way of a TBI having a roller cam in it, something special. But otherwise, yeah. Just having trouble with the internet tonight. The first show it wouldn't work. It finally flopped, and this one's had a couple of catches. So, but, let's see. Mom Bear was checking in. Her. Because I do have a roller cam that, well, I think it's still up on the wall, that I got out of an old cop car. And there is no markings on it. And those cop car camshafts were different than general public ones. So I kept that, and it's still good. Okay. Actually, I found with the Vortex, some of them had a smaller oil pickup tube. I see I'm back now. Ding. Just all of a sudden. Yeah, Mom Bear. Hey, Mike. Yeah, Jim. Thanks for stopping. Hopefully next weekend's show goes better. Yeah, both are adequate. You missed it. Yeah. Both will do their job. I guess I really have. I basically put an Melling 50 M55A pump in about everything I build anymore, and seems to be doing fine. And I wanted to say that thought it was backwards that no, they can't because that's right because I used to use a 5/8 inch. Never mind. So yeah, they're both going to be adequate. I at one time did have a big block running, a small block running a big block oil pump. I can't remember what the modifications was I did to it, but yes, one or two of my small blocks had a big block oil pump in it. Oh, that makes sense. Reason I did. Yeah, that would make sense. Got a buddy that's going to finish up a motor. I think he wants to switch out the oil pump. But we do that. I'm going to look that pump over closer because we had a guy that used to modify the oil pumps, and he would make a fitting the screw block off the feed and drill a hole, tap it, and put a pickup screen right there on the bottom of the oil pump, and then he could get that set. And it was always in oil and seemed to work fine. We never ever had any chewed up bearings or anything when we took them apart. Okay, well, I see this is working. We'll go back out in the shop, furnace shut off. Yeah, it's almost charged. So come with this. Put this up. Oh, we're just trying to get the internet to stay working here tonight, Sean. And I thought it was just my setup, but my daughter in town, which has got the same internet, says they're having the same problem too. They'll kick them on and off the internet. So something's wrong with our local internet, or who knows where. Actually, so we're just trying to keep the show going and see what we can get done. And did I freeze up already? Oh, no. Just got a few second delay. Yes. Now, when you go to the ones that got the retainer plate, that is a different timing set of gear. Remind me about that here in a few seconds. But there's those heads off that core motor. I mean, they don't look bad. They're dirty. So I don't know why number 7 was. Let's see. Looking at this quick. Okay, this head. Okay. There's the stock oil pump. Windage tray. Okay, okay, yeah. So number 7. Okay, well, the one down by the floor is number 7, which would have been on the rod that is S-shaped, bent rod. So I guess those heads will get them cleaned up and checked out. But 406 is sitting here. Didn't do any more from last weekend. I've been having some issues. Like I said, vehicles have been going down faster than we can fix them. And let's see. I think this is for. Okay, well, the pattern on this is a lot smaller. This is for a camshaft with the retaining plate. This is a smaller hole. That's the double roller version one. This one here is more of the factory style. This is that one. Same thing. A lot smaller right there. And yes, I can show you. I do have that. And then, yeah, I think it got hydrolocked, so I don't know why, but I noticed. And then see here, you see how big the center of that one is compared? This is for your regular flat tappet. And I think also see how this is kicked more to the front, or this one is kicked to the back. So there is a difference. Okay. Now, okay, you brought up another good point there, Chevelle. And I didn't catch it myself until I rebuilt the motor for my cousin. You guys that are taking the oil coolers off those motors and leaving the adapter on, and you're just putting the plugs in that, you have stopped filtering your oil. Motor I did for my cousin, when we figured that out, he's like, "You mean that thing went for 50,000 miles with unfiltered oil?" I said, "Yeah." As I was cleaning up the adapter, because he had a 4-wheel drive truck, and that puts the oil filter off this way, had the engine coil lines. Those things are designed that the oil has to flow through. If you put the caps on it, you end up bypassing it and activating a little bypass ball, and it sends the oil right back into the motor. You actually have to take that off and either get the correct oil filter for the spin on and run a shorter filter. Because I sat here and I messed with that one, and I kept blowing air and that back and forth, and I finally realized once you cap those oil cooler lines off, you have stopped filtering your oil. So well, if you loop it, fine. Are you going into a 4-wheel drive or what? Because let's see. Where is that? Where did that go? I've moved so much stuff around. Okay, that means I got a whole bunch of pistons over there I'm not going to throw away now. They're going to go made in the figurines or whatever. Scrap, where did I go with that stuff? Well, where did I go with that? What's that? Oh, I got a pail around here. Nope, not that, not that. Ah! Oh, I think I just found it. I think. Nope, that's not. Ah. Nope. Nope. Ah. It's crazy how much stuff disappears around here when I'm only. Nope, that's. Well, I don't know. I lost a pail of parts. Am I cleaning up? But anyway. Yeah. The way that feeds through that there, the oil's got to go through. And yes, the oil does get into the filter, but it's not filtered because basically that oil's, say this is the filter, the oil isn't being forced down in through around the paper. It just goes over the top and runs back into the system. Yeah. High water. Anyway, I got a pail full of that stuff, which I don't know what I did with. Nope, not under there either. And I don't think that went out to. I hope I'm not froze up again. I got a feeling I froze up again. All right. Oh, there. Yeah. Yeah. I wish it's work. Wish that would work. Okay. I don't know what this is. Well, I evidently was okay. Sean, what did 40 laps, and it's already, what motor was that? And when I found my bucket of parts, I don't know where I got cut off at. I'll try this. Nope, better move that before that falls off. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you do that, Chevelle. I mean, I've got a bunch of these here. And what I usually do with these, I just put that away, otherwise it'd chill you right quick. I take a 1/2-inch pipe plug tap that, put a pipe plug in it, red Loctite it in, and make my, so that way the bypass valve never opens and you've always got filtered oil. Otherwise, Speedway Motorsports sells a purple version of this. But yeah. Oh, good thing I found that because I do need. Okay, anyway. That's found again. Yeah, and that's all it is with the two little bolts. And then you can put a filter. Oh, here's what one looks like. It's kind of dirty, kind of hard to see right there, but you look in there, you can see there's the pipe plug. That's what it looks like when it's done. So, yeah, I clean these and throw them in the ultrasound. Yeah, did I freeze up again? what the part number was. Okay, I guess since you made a comment, I know it's not frozen. Okay, let me see what any of these here. The part number on this particular one is 3952302. Is that one? Yeah. 3952302. GM. That one sticks out better. So okay. Yeah, I ain't never put a gasket under one of those. The only ones I've found where I've had that I have to put those back in. Let me see if I can find that quick if it's over here on the shelf. Let's see. And here it is. There we go. The only one that I've had to put the gaskets back in is with this setup here. And here's the setup that I learned. You lose filter in your oil. The reason you lose filter in your oil is, okay, let's see. How did I figure that out? Okay, the oil from the motor way that was, the oil was coming out, and when it comes out this bottom hole, which I don't remember how I got. Oh, the oil comes from the oil pump into this side, which is blocked off. That's why you got that gasket, to keep that area sealed, because this is where your filtered oil is. So that oil goes in through there, down this side, down this bottom line, out to the oil cooler to get cooled because it's coming from the motor hot. Then it comes back here and goes in through here into here. And yeah, okay, there's the bypass right there. So somewhere in here it's blocked off. So then the oil goes in the top side here into here to force it into the center of the filter, or on the outside of the filter. Looks like that. I don't know. Somehow it forces the oil to go either through the center or around the outside. So when the oil goes through the filter, it comes back up into this cavity and it's clean. So yeah. Trying to remember how that went. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, if you got this on there and you take it off, or you don't want to take that off and you just, okay, in, out. Okay, so, yeah. Anyway, if you just cap these off, you're not filtering the oil anymore. So yeah, okay. So that in order. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, if you have the oil cooler, Jerry, you got to keep the lines. If you just plug this hole and plug that hole, you're running the early Chevy without oil filtration. And depending on your block, let's see. Okay, when you go to this, you're going to have the bigger filter with the bigger hole too. So now this has got the small filter on it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, all those guys that are plugging them off all the time like that, Sean, they're not filtering their oil anymore. And the bearings in that motor, when I tore it down, showed that it wasn't being filtered. Yeah, I've done that on a couple builds there to open them up. Hey, Paul, how you doing? So that's kind of why this one stayed in, because it cost, and he knew exactly when they capped those 50,000 miles the motor made it before she was. So it's kind of like the original Chevys when they were first made. They didn't have oil filters on them, and they didn't get very much mileage out of them either. So but yeah, set that up there. And just because it's that, but that's the ones I've been going to and using now. Well, not this particular one. This is a different way. The ones I got have the 3 keyway. This one doesn't, but that part number is what I've been using. Yep, that's right. The last point to get, and I used to do what they call reverse oiling, cambering into those lifter passages, which since the oil went to the lifters first, the excess oil that went past through the lifters got down to the front main and rods. Oh, yeah, I had a fellow YouTuber a few years ago. They built motor and they couldn't get any oil pressure. And it was what did you miss? What I was talking about there, Chevelle? And I finally asked him how far he had the galley plug screwed in. And he told me, I said, well, back him out. He got a new set of galley plugs, put them in, and he called me up and he says, hey, guess what? I got oil pressure now. Okay. On your old school small box. Okay, Chevelle. I'll try this again. Does this one got okay? Just a second. I kind of got a little bit of a prop here. I can do this. Come here. This is an old school small block right here. And this one and this one here, deadhead. And what it used to be called the reverse oiling system. When the cam bearing's out like this, you got your groove, and there's your oil hole there. That is a little slower getting oil to it, but on these old small blocks, the lifters got the oil first. So any excess oil went there, it just deadheads there. Well, you go in here and drill, and I don't remember the size holes. And that I drilled into there, and I can't remember if I actually put a restrictor in there. I know it wasn't as big as that hole. And the motors I did do that on, I didn't have any more front bearing or any wear on those bearings when I did that. No, it's okay, Chevelle. So, yeah. I used to do that, and I can't. I found some of my notes, almost thought I had it figured out. I still don't. Yeah, you got to have the oil for hydraulic and that. The oil had to be there to pump those lifters up so the valve train would stay set. So, but yeah, the motors I did do that too. I ran oil pressure, and if I didn't have it, I drilled and tapped in for the front oil pressure gauge. And the motors, it was cool having two oil pressure gauges showing the same oil pressure front to back. Yeah, that was one way to protect you from having that happen too. The reason, yeah. And I've had to go some blocks. I've had to put the Allen and remember to do it before. Get the pipe plug in there to where it's getting tight, and then take and run a drill bit down through there and nick the pipe plug so I could go in with a grinder and mark it so I kind of knew where it was. So you got that. Get that little extra turn, you could make sure that groove that you ground into the end of the pipe plug would still clear so you get the oil pressure to the front. That I honestly don't know, that Chevelle. I guess I never bothered to check the lift on a factory camshaft. And one way of checking that too is you measure your width here and then measure here, subtract the two, and I'll give you roughly what your lift is. Oh, yeah, factory, anything factory, you're probably going to be lucky if it was past 450. At least that. Reason I've ran them both ways. The only time I had issue, and I think it was done deliberately, and I know when the guy did it, I had a motor I was building. Another guy said, "Oh, that thing will never run right." Well, he come over to see how it was. I mean, I took a rusty 305 I was building for a kid, and these guys said, "Oh, there's no way in hell that motor is junk. It's junk." I yelled at the kid. I said, "Bring it back." And I said, "You're going to come over and you're going to build it with me." So he did. He come over, built it with me. We started cleaning that motor, did everything to it, knocked all the plugs out of it, washed it up, scrubbed it. Back then I could use to be able to pick them up and carry them. And got that motor looking good. And the kids started bragging about it. Well, this other guy that was running a machine shop that told me, "Oh, it had to be bored and it's too rusty." He just come and checked it out. Well, I left him alone in the shop. And I was at the point where I had the timing chain and gear on. So I know I had the 3 galley plugs in the front of the block, but the lifters weren't in. And we got the motor finished, put it in the cutlass, and the kid called me up. It ain't got no oil pressure. I'm like, it's got to have oil pressure. 0 oil pressure. I'm like thinking, oh God, did I forget the plug in the back of the block above the oil pump or rear main? Finally, he put air to it, and he said, well, I can hear air blowing out the front. I'm like, what are you talking about? So him and his dad started tearing into it. I said, well, tear into it and let me know what you find. He called me up. He says, you need to come over and see this. All 3 plugs were not behind the timing gear. And those were the press-in ones. You could see where I staked them, but I had a metal rod that was long enough that you could go from the back to the front and knock them out. We didn't even find them, and he said we could see where you staked them, but they were not in the oil pan. Put those 3 plugs back in, put the motor back together, got her fired it up, carried 70 pounds of oil pressure. So after that, I made sure the galley plugs were in the back of the block and the timing covers were on, and that guy was never around again. So okay, now so if you just throw double humps on your Vortec, how much cam are you going to put in that there, Chevelle? Oh, yeah, if you're going with a factory roller cam in there, yeah, you won't have no issues. I think mine's a 1/2 inch MPT thread that I use. And just put it away. Let's go see what it is. Because as you go in with a pipe plug, the deeper you go, the wider it gets. And that's where where is it? All right, here it is. And the one I use is quarter. That's the tap that I put in those. And I pay attention, and I'll fit the plug I'm going to use. And each plug's different, depending on the manufacturer plug. So you get that started and test fit it, and it'll keep you from going too deep into the galley plug. Okay, you are using reason that's the one I've used. I haven't ever lost a plug yet, because I always put them in with a red Loctite too. Well, like one guy said, those 3 galley plugs there, who cares if you have a little oil seepage by? Some guys will take and drill that 16th or so inch hole, so it's spraying oil out on the backside. And you've seen my motors reason. I start them up, and I've used this with those pipe plugs and red Loctite, and I'm carrying between 60 to 100 pounds of pressure. Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying, Reason. But as that goes in, that gets wider. So what when you look down in the hole, yeah, these first few threads just like they barely scratch. Then you get to there, which is about the thickness of that plug. That's the threads you've got, and they're deeper. Yeah, the camshaft retainer is a better design with the old spider or the dog bone lifters. So even aftermarket roller rocker cams, if you order it for a Vortec or machine for the retainer plates. The one thing you don't ever want to do with this tap is run it all the way until you bury that, because then you're